Good. Okay, so firstly, what I'd like to do is do a quick recap on yesterday's session to see if you were listening and see, just to build your information and your understanding of OER. It's just going to be a quick one, a quick pop quiz, and it's just on 3 questions. First question is, what are the different types of OER, the different resources, the examples that you can find? Second is, what is the name of the blended learning technique used when limited resources are available, which I told you about yesterday? And 3 is, where can you find OER? Where can you find these resources? What websites can you use? So I'm going to give you 1 minute to think about it and try and get the answers, and then I'll ask you after that minute. Okay, are you ready? Okay, good. So, question 1. What are the different types of OER? Who can give me the answer?
Images.
Yeah, that's great. So, there's the online courses up there, images, text, video, games, software. Those are the different types. Okay. Close. Number 2, who can tell me? Oh, good. You were listening, obviously. Yeah, the flipped classroom. Okay, and number 3? Yeah. Very good, you were listening. Great. So yeah, where can you find them? Like, there's lots of the organisations and the websites. Right, so that yesterday was all about where to find these resources, what they are, and how to use them. Now is the really interesting part, because this is about content creation. You as the teachers creating these resources yourselves for your students, for your lessons, for your schools, but also for the rest of the world. And also how students can create content to show their understanding, show their learning in a much more engaging way. So that's what we're going to do. Now I want to show you an example of a teacher. He's pretty happy. He's just taught a great lesson because he's so passionate about his subject. And the students were completely engaged as well. They loved this lesson as well. But in the past, this lesson was confined to the 4 walls of the room and confined to maybe 30 students, and then it's lost. It's gone. However, now, with the OER movement, it enables teachers to share this lesson with other teachers around the world and students around the world as well. And this is what the OER movement's all about. So as in the OER movement, it's a bit like a machine. This is the machine blasting OER to the world, and you have these big cogs, which are the organisations that I told you about. But this machine wouldn't work without the smaller cogs to make it run. And these smaller cogs are the teachers. They're you, who can also create this content, text, media, technology perhaps, but it's what you've been doing for years. I mean, teachers have been sharing resources and lesson plans for years. It's just doing it on a much larger scale. So I just want to show you a quick video of examples of teachers who are doing just this.
The very first exercise I would recommend is trying to just play 4 beats in time.
I'm going to teach you some tips on how to improve your listening skills.
If I were to halve the last atom of gold, it would no longer be gold.
So we have a formula to work out the area of a circle. Okay, that's simply pi r squared.
The Cartesian plane has an x and y axis. An ordered pair is made up of an x and y value and can be plotted using the axes.
And that's it for this lesson. We hope that you've enjoyed the video and that this helps with your guitar playing. Thanks for watching.
So you're able to do this kind of work. You can create this kind of content, and it's really easy. I mean, there's lots of free software available and lots of resources that you already have, like a smartphone. So I'm just going to show you a couple of examples how you can do this. So with Audacity, like I've shown you before, that it's a free download, you could create an audio podcast or some audio. For example, you've taught the students about what is water, and they have to go home and maybe do a test on it, but then they've forgotten. But you could record yourself saying what it is. So let me do it quickly. Water is H2O. And then the students at home, they're like, oh, I've forgotten what it is. And then they just listen to the audio again. Water is H2O. Oh, I remember now. So that's what it could be. And then you could use that and maybe upload it if you like it as well. Upload it to SoundCloud, which is a great one for audio. Also, you could, remember this terrible chemistry joke that I showed you? Well, because OER has a Creative Commons license, you can take these images and then adapt them, like I've said. So that's what I've done here. And so I put a quick joke on it. Told the teachers of Brunei a chemistry joke. No reaction. Which I'm pretty sure that's happened a lot over these 2 days. But it just makes it a bit more engaging. These teachers who just take the phone and then record themselves. This one
Asked me, said, Ronnie, how can I improve my listening?
and then just recorded herself teaching the lesson. I don't think this is as engaging as you can be. I think you can be much better. This is a teacher, which I showed you during the fire. He's great, and this is a teacher that I've worked with because he's really enthusiastic about this digital media for education. And what he does, he records his science experiments and uploads it for those who maybe don't have the equipment to do the same experiments. And then he explains it through. You can hear him a bit.
What could you have said if I'd have got this beaker full of something and said it's water? What could you have said?
So he's got a bit of an accent like mine, so I don't know whether you can understand him, but you get the gist from what he's doing, which is fantastic. There's this teacher who used, this is very interesting, he had an interactive whiteboard, and what he did, he explained it, drawing it, you can hear his voice here. Oh, wait. He explained it and recorded himself doing it as well. He recorded his audio. And he's got an Irish accent, so let's see if you can understand.
Okay, and then we have 3 shapes. We've got a circle here, and a circle here, and a rectangle here. So we have a formula to work out the area of a circle. Okay, that's simply pi r squared. So the area of this circle is pi r squared.
So it's just him explaining it, but then he can upload that to YouTube, and then people who don't know how to calculate the surface area of a cylinder can now because of that. And you can easily create something like that as well. This was an animation done by a teacher using PowerPoint. Yes, PowerPoint. And then just recorded her audio.
Atoms are extremely small. They cannot be seen with the naked eye, or even a magnifying glass.
And what you can do, I've done a tutorial on this, on how to do it, which I'll upload to the portal, but it's really simple. Say, I've done this PowerPoint before. I'll just show you a quick bit of it. And then you've got a bit of animation here and there, makes it more interesting. And all you do is here, file, save as movie. And then it saves it. And then you bring it into Windows Movie Maker, which I'm sure you all have, with the audio created in Audacity, and bring it together, and that's it. You've created an animation. So it's easily done with free software. So in this way, because you're creating these resources, it improves practice. You become better teachers as a result of it as well. And you can connect, so better teachers, okay, there you go. And you can connect with teachers all around the world and share best practice with them using these resources. You use theirs, then they use yours. So now I want you to discuss in groups or pairs what kind of OER you would create, what resources, videos or audio, how you'd create it, and also how you'd explain a concept, a specific concept from your subject. So I'll give you 3 minutes to discuss that. Okay, thank you. Hopefully you can discuss this a lot more outside this workshop as well. Does anyone want to describe what they would create for us all? No? Okay, everyone's shy. Right, we'll move on. Okay, so now, I mean, teachers creating content, that's great. But students, they have so many ideas and so much creativity that they can create their own content. I mean, they're doing it themselves in their personal lives, in their social lives. But imagine that if they can do it in their learning as well. So they can record and show their own learning through images, audio, video, just like before. And then they can be really creative about it. So not just writing an essay to show their learning. They could create a magazine article or something on Shakespeare with lots of images. Or even do a radio broadcast on Henry VIII, like a radio play, where you have one of the students as Henry VIII, and another person interviewing him, or her, and saying, why did you kill all your wives? And then they have to explain, well, I didn't like them so much, or something. It enables their creativity. Or even filming them doing a science experiment to show that they can do it. I mean, that's surely the best way, rather than having them write it, this is how I did it. They just show it, and they don't have to write it afterwards. It's great. So now, sorry, I just talked for a bit, but now it's on to you guys again. I want you to think of ideas how your students would show their learning using technology in your lesson. I want you to think about a specific concept which they'd want to show within your subject. Okay, so if you'd like to discuss that, I'll give you 3 minutes, and then we'll start talking about it afterwards. Okay. So hopefully you've brainstormed and discussed of what the students could create. I'd like to introduce you to Ali from Sports School, who has been doing this for for a bit of time on having his students create their own content to help their learning. He's just going to discuss it now with you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is a program that I use because I teach physical education, and I'm one of the coaches in sports school. And we use technology and let the kids actually learn what they're doing, what mistakes they do from using video analysis. So this software is free. Everyone has an iPad nowadays, and this is a free app where the student can actually see their own movements. So this is an example. That is full movement, and when it's that speed, at regular speed, the kids have a problem seeing their mistakes. So there's an option here where they can slow it down to 1/8 of the speed. I'll speed that up a bit. So from there, they can actually slow down the movement. And from there, they can see actually what steps they're doing wrong. And then we talk to the students, okay, what errors did you make? And then first, they try to describe what mistakes they did. Maybe they can describe just 1 or 2. And then after that, we let their colleagues or teammates also give input on what mistakes. One big one we can see here, I don't know if anyone are golfers here, but there's one mistake here, a big one there, where actually her swing is supposed to be in line with the target, which is over there. So they can draw a line there, and it's at least a reference there that they can see. And currently, if we look at her club position, it's over here. And there's a big difference there. And if you make it visual like this, and they themselves make it visual like this, they actually learn it more, and they're more conscious of the movements. But this is a way that we can use for physical education or in terms of coaching, and that's just my side. I've been doing this for a bit now, and it's a free app, and there are tons of free apps that we can use to assist with the teaching. And it's interactive. I let my kids use my iPad. Personally, they dropped it a few times, but that's all right. Part of the job, I guess. But these are really useful apps, in my opinion, because they actually get engaged with the ICT part, and they can use it for other things, not only for the coaching, but they can use it for recording the speed of a ball flying or something like that, and that goes into physics and science and all the other stuff as well. Yeah. I think that's all I have.
Thank you. Great. Thanks, Ali. Yeah, so that's brilliant. That's such a great way of letting the students create their own content, use ICT to affect their learning in a positive way. So now, that's a bit about it. I just want to show you how just an idea from a teacher in Brunei can use this OER movement to then push it out to their school, but then push it out to the country and share it with the continent and also the world. It is possible nowadays with technology. And then with the OER movement, it means that a child in a place where they can't access education, in this case, I think she's in the sea somewhere. She doesn't have a boat or anything, but she might be able to access the education that you put online, even though she can't access top quality education through schools and other traditional means. So it just makes it much more accessible for students to access their potential, is what I'm trying to say. So that's about it for the OER movement. I just want to quickly show you one other thing. And this is from the WSID handbook, and it's from the framework in section D on ICT capability, knowledge construction, and teacher review. And I want to show you how using OERs in the classroom, how creating it yourselves and having the students create their own content as well, really it ticks the boxes. So you have, I was able to select appropriate ICTs for the intended knowledge construction learning activities. Well, yes, you did. You selected the right resources that you used. I was able to provide opportunities for students to use the ICTs for knowledge construction. Yes, because they were creating their own content. Did ICTs support students' knowledge construction? Yes, it did, because what they were doing did support their construction. Were the ICTs used required for students' knowledge construction? Yes, they were. Were the students designers of an ICT product? Yes, they were, because this product is the content that they're creating. I was able to ensure the efficient and effective use of these ICTs in these learning activities. Well, it was. You effectively used it rather than playing a video and then just sitting back. You used it to facilitate the learning. You weren't the electric screwdriver leaving it on its own. You were the builder using it. I was able to address any cyber safety or the ethical issues associated with the use of ICTs in these learning activities. Well, that's down to you guys. I've shown you the resources that you can use, but you have to be careful with them. And so yeah, I just want to show you how using these resources and how creating it really helps within the framework. And so it's easy to do. I want to thank you for being so great, for being so enthusiastic. I really hope that you'll continue the discussions outside and think about how you can use these and create your own. So thank you. Lunchtime, yeah.